with your host, Cosmon Cal.
Man, right back like I left some. Miss your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a roach clip, your naga, your nerve. Fresh up off of that curve, jelly jamming preserve. Cosmon, man, right back up in it, man. Oh, man. This is crazy. I just had to bring this to y'all. I'm saying ain't no way. Y'all heard about Trump is charging Obama? With interfering with the trial. With the election, the Trump's election. They talking about arresting this dude, man. Obama, dig this, y'all. This is crazy. I ain't even gonna hold y'all up. I'ma just let them play. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all people for yourselves, y'all. Hey, love, life, balance out there, man. Peace to the CGG, the Creative Gang is in this thing. Love, life, balance. Peace to all the righteous gods and Nirvanian goddesses out there. You dig what I'm saying? All praises to the one that always was, is, and never shall be. The master of light. Huh? he taught his son well because we mastered light last night. Man, shout out for everybody who came through, man. I ain't even gonna hold this up. Y'all just if y'all late coming in on here, man, y'all ain't got y'all notifications on and all that. That's on y'all. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody who tapping in. You dig what I'm saying? But we just gonna get into it, man. We're gonna let it play, man. Now, we are super intelligent, so we always gotta be careful for the deep fakes, but this is all over the news. This is crazy. So let's see.
Occurred in just 6 months. We are truly just getting started, and we look forward to working with all of you for the next 3.5 years. On another matter, over the past few days, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has unveiled shocking new evidence that former President Barack Obama and top aides in the Obama administration conspired to subvert President Trump's 2016 election victory and undermine the democratic will of the American people. While publicly pretending to engage in a peaceful transfer of power, in private, former President Obama went to great and nefarious lengths to try to sow discord among the public and sabotage his successor, President Trump. The new evidence released by the Director of National Intelligence, who is here with me today, confirms that the Obama administration manufactured politicized intelligence, which was later used as the justification for baseless smears against President Trump in an effort to try to delegitimize his victory before he even took the oath of office. The truth is that President Trump never had anything to do with Russia, and the Russia collusion hoax was a massive fraud perpetuated on the American people from the very beginning. And the worst part of this is Obama knew that truth, and so did all of the other corrupt officials involved in this scam, including former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former FBI Director James Comey, former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and many others.
Ooh-wee. Trump is not playing. He is trying to clean the swamp. Ooh-wee. I ain't never seen this. I ain't never seen this, y'all. Ooh-wee.
Director of National Intelligence Gabbard's report further confirms what we already knew. There was no collusion, no corruption, except on the part of Barack Obama and the weaponized intelligence agencies at the time. The Russia hoax was a blatant lie, all ginned up by Democrat political operatives that were signed off on by then President Obama and leaked to the news media to launch a years-long.
Now, before we go on, right, we are intelligent people, right? This could just be a deep fake, right? This could totally be a deep fake. And it makes sense, right? To make a deep fake like this, sow discord, but at the same time, to reach back 8 years on some stuff, you dig what I'm talking about? To bring it up, if this wasn't legitimate, you dig what I'm saying? It would have been shot down. That, you know what I mean? The Obama side has been quiet. You dig what I'm saying? We got to be intelligent. We just ain't going for nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? This could just be some deep fake type AI made up stuff, but I don't think so. You dig what I'm saying? It's a little too precise, and we just gonna have to watch this one play out, y'all. This is crazy.
Witch hunt against President Trump and his first administration. Allies of the president, including his own son, Donald Trump Jr., were disgustingly smeared as Russian assets, and some even had their lives destroyed because of this vicious lie. The president's first 2 years in office had this fake distraction hanging over it, and endless resources, time, and political capital were.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Out nearly 10 years later, thanks to the declassification of documents by Director Gabbard, the truth has finally come to light. And this truth vindicates President Trump, his family, and his many allies and associates who were smeared with defamatory lies. President Trump was right from the beginning about all of this, and we are grateful that justice can be served. Now, we have even more damning evidence implicating those who tried to sabotage a duly elected president and did grave material harm to our republic. Thanks to additional important work done by CIA Director Ratcliffe, Committee Chairman Rick Crawford over the past few months, a newly declassified 2020 report prepared by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, which DNI Director Gabbard has declassified, found that the intel community did not have any direct information that Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to help elect President Trump in 2016. And in fact, Russia was actively preparing for a Hillary Clinton victory. But at the unusual direction of Barack Obama at the time, the intel community published implausible intelligence suggesting otherwise. Why? To sabotage the incoming president. This is truly one of the greatest political scandals in American history. And reporters at legacy outlets, some of which are sitting in this.
If this is true, that is correct. This is one of the most scandalous, things we didn't seen in America. You dig what I'm talking about? It remind me of something. That is saying a waspy, right? It remind me of something that is saying a waspy that do not lay the blame of anarchy, revolution, and assassinations on the people. Don't blame the people. Jaja say, my judgment is against the government in all cases. These conditions of vengeance are only the fruit resulting from the government's divergence from the will of the Creator in the march of his light.
Room today, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, were ridiculously awarded Pulitzer Prizes for their perpetuation of this hoax. It's well past time for those awards to be stripped from the journalists who received them. It is not journalism to propagate political disinformation in service of the Democrat Party and those in the intelligence community who hand over out of context and fake intelligence to push a false political narrative. I will now pass it over to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, to speak more about all of this, and then we will open it up for questions afterwards. Tulsi, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. At President Trump's direction and with the support and coordination of the House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford, today we've released a declassified Oversight Majority Staff report that was produced in September of 2020. The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims.
Y'all thumb up
They
the video.
disobeyed
Share the live, man.
tradecraft intelligence community
Y'all in the gang,
standards
share it in the
and
chat.
withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016. They worked with their partners in the media to promote this lie, ultimately to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump and launching what would be a years-long coup against him and his administration. We're here today because the American people deserve the truth, they deserve accountability, and they deserve justice. The records that we released on Friday that were ODNI records, Senator Chuck Grassley's release on Monday of what is known as the Clinton Annex, which was an appendix to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General's 2018 report, as well as the House Intelligence Committee's majority oversight report that we're releasing today, all come back to and confirm the same report.
Ooh-wee.
Gross politicization and manipulation of intelligence by the Obama administration intended to delegitimize President Trump even before he was inaugurated, ultimately usurping the will of the American people. I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department. They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump. Brennan and the IC misled lawmakers by referencing the debunked Steele dossier to assess quote-unquote Russia's plans and intentions, falsely suggesting that this dossier had intelligence value when he knew that it was discredited. The intelligence community excluded significant intelligence and ignored or selectively quoted reliable intelligence that contradicted the intelligence community assessment's key findings on Putin's alleged support for Trump. Including this intelligence reporting would have exposed the ICA's claim as implausible, if not ridiculous. The intelligence community assessment omitted reliably sourced information, such as how some Russian intelligence officials were quote-unquote planning for candidate Hillary Clinton's victory, while others assessed neither Trump nor Clinton would respect Russia's interests. As was reflected in the ODNI documents that we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the US election. On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency. The Presidential Daily Brief, drafted on December 8th of 2016, stated that no Russian or criminal actors impacted vote counts. This document was pulled just hours before it was to be published due to quote-unquote new guidance. If it had been published, it would have been briefed to both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. On December 9th, 2016, a National Security Council meeting was called to gather President Obama's senior national security officials, which included CIA Director Brennan, then Obama DNI James Clapper, Susan Rice, and others. Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report that we released today reveals that, quote, unlike routine intelligence community analysis, the intelligence community assessment was a high-profile product ordered by the president, President Obama. It directed senior intelligence community agency heads and created an intelligence community assessment limited to just 5 analysts using one principal drafter. This is not something that occurs in the normal path of producing an intelligence community assessment that reflects the views across the intelligence community. The production of this intelligence community assessment was subject to unusual directives directly from the president and senior political appointees, especially the former director of the CIA, John Brennan. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report also shows how later that same day, on December 9th, Brennan ordered the publication of quote-unquote substandard reporting on Russian activities, which had previously been withheld from publication of prior assessments because the information was judged, quote, to have not met long-standing publication standards. Some of the information later used in the Obama-ordered assessment over the objections of veteran CIA officers was, quote-unquote, unclear or from unknown sources. The Intelligence Committee's oversight report reveals that CIA Director Brennan overruled senior CIA officers who challenged the Obama-ordered intelligence assessment, stating, quote, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected. Yet, the Obama-directed assessment was published on January 6, 2017, which explicitly stated, quote, we assess Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances when possible by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him, end of quote. The CIA and FBI, then led by John Brennan and James Comey, expressed high confidence in this judgment, while the NSA expressed moderate confidence. Yet, as the report we released today shows, the ICA, the Intelligence Community Assessment, did not cite any report where Putin indicated helping Trump win was an objective. The opposite is true. With regards to the Steele dossier, we now know that one of the source documents
Interesting. Huh? Jaja gives us a glimpse into what happens to governments who function in this way. You dig what I'm talking about? Because of their roughshod treatment and selfishness and over the people. You dig what I'm talking about? See, a good government is like a good father, right? It's supposed to work and be one with the people. But our government has set itself up as a separate thing. And it's against the people. And this is why they tax you. We understand a certain amount of, but you tax the taxes. Huh? But Jaja give us a little way of understanding what happens to governments like this. Why they crumble. Right? And if you have a little bit of spiritual discernment, you can start seeing this in our own government today. Creator says, this is the book of Judgment 32 and 25. But I will abandon all such people, and my lords shall abandon them, and my holy angels shall abandon them, and they shall be left as prey to their own evil spirits, and to all manner of low demonic beings, or juja, huh? And they shall be afflicted with assassinations, right? With intriguers. Anybody been assassinated lately? Any assassination attempts lately? Heard about people getting assassinated lately? We bringing up intriguers right now. Ain't they trying to say this is what old Barry was into? That the whole Russia hoax was trumped up? That's an intrigue. Now you know why these things are starting to happen. Why? Because the Creator is allowing his lords and his high holy angels to abandon people. Not the whole people. It ain't failed yet. Right? And guess what? It's not a death sentence or end all be all. There's a way to fix this before it gets real bad. And that's just to do the right thing. But sometimes you got to let a sickness just run itself through. Right? Sometimes people hard-headed and they only learn the hard way. Right? And there's one thing we know for sure, right? Is that you gonna learn. You gonna learn. It's just about how you gonna learn. You gonna learn the easy way or you gonna learn the hard way. Huh? And it's looking like old Barry Obama might be starting to learn the hard way. Remember just a little bit ago, you saying, oh, y'all ain't black men if you don't vote for Kamala and whatever. Yeah, nigga. Karma. And they shall be afflicted with assassinations, intriguers, and despoilers. And with anarchy and riots and destruction. For they shall be made to understand that whomever the Creator created alive is sacred upon the earth. And that whosoever does not heed these, my judgment, sins against the Almighty. It is not, and behold, it is not sufficient apology for them to say, Oh, Putin will come over here and to our country, and he will possess it. He will do it. He's pretty good. He's pretty good president over there. He can do it. Huh? It's not good enough for them to say, oh, Xi Jinping will come to America, so we must kill him, Cosmo. What are you saying? Huh? It's not a sufficient apology for Netanyahu to tell you that the Emir of Iran is an evil king, and he will come to take the land that we have taken and genocided the Palestinians for. Oh, yes. Huh? Well, look what Jaja say. Huh? It ain't good enough, partner. Well, look what Jaja say. I say to you, oh man, all countries are the creators. Be his servant for peace and righteousness, having faith in him. Crazy. Right? Watch this. Right? Just breaking it down. For I have not created a people today to be as their fathers were. For I have not created a people to be today what their fathers were. But I provided them with perpetual growth in wisdom and virtue. For which reason the rising generations shall rebel against which was well and good for their forefathers. All my governments understand this. Again, y'all, is there anything outside of all? And whether they are on earth or in heaven, whatever government does not accept this rule shall go down to destruction. What rule? That the sons ain't gonna be like the fathers. Why? Because all things are in motion. Creator gave perpetual growth. Perpetual means unceasingly. The Father gave perpetual growth in what? Wisdom and virtue. So now, the Son ain't the daddy. Why? For which reason the rising generation shall rebel against which was well and good for their daddies. And whatever government does not accept that, does not accept the perpetual growth, of wisdom and virtue, shall go down to destruction. For as I have hedged man around with sentinels, right? Let's see what a sentinel is, right? Definition of sentinel. All right, hold on. Pull this up real quick. All right, hold on. What is a sentinel? A sentinel is a guard, a lookout, a person to keep watch. But a lookout, a watchman, a guardian, other synonyms are keeper, a warden, a pickpocket, right? A protector. It can also be an alert. Huh? I've given alerts. Right? Right? I've given watchmen. I've given protectors. I've given keepers, sentries, lookouts. Right? What are those lookouts? Right? In real time. This is not mythological. This is why you have these. He said, for as I have hedged man around with sentinels, lookouts, right? Alarms, alerts, right? Such as pestilence, poverty and hunger, in order to awaken him, right? Why did he allow pestilence, poverty, and hunger? Why? Right? Because it awakens in him knowledge and industry. Huh? How you make him want it unless he know he need it? If not for pestilence, you wouldn't have remedies that cure diseases. Huh? You wouldn't have things to kill the bacteria that would readily give man the fits every day. Huh? But because of pestilence, man had to come up with a way to get over it through gaining knowledge and then implying industry on that to create things like bleach, pine sol. You dig what I'm talking about? What's the little the little spray? Aerosol. You dig what I'm saying? Cleaning materials, soap. Right? I gave you pestilence, right? So you could get dead. How else would you? Huh? I gave you poverty, right? So you could strive against it. Huh? I gave you hunger so you could gain the knowledge in the industry to overcome it. Huh? But look, he's saying the same thing I did with man, I did with governments. Watch this. He say, dig this. Let me drop it down a little bit. He say, so have I hedged in all governments under the sun with these alarms, these lookouts. Huh? Such as, this is when you know something is wrong, right? When you got pestilence, poverty, and hunger with man, something is wrong. Huh? This is how you know something is wrong with your government, such as rebellions, assassinations, war, and bankruptcy. Uh-oh. This is how you know it's bad. Just like if you was in poverty and you was hungry and you was sick, that's the same thing. That's the same thing for a government, right? Is bankruptcy, war, assassinations, and rebellion. As pestilence, right? As pestilence proves man's disobedience to my commandments, so do rebellion and anarchy prove the disobedience of governments to the progressive spirit which I created in man. Right? And here we are.
That the Obama administration used in the creation of this intelligence assessment in January of 2017 was none other than the discredited, unverified Steele dossier. The House Intel report states, quote, contradicting public claims by then CIA Director Brennan that the dossier was not in any way incorporated into this intelligence assessment. The dossier was referenced in the intelligence assessment's main body text and further detailed in a 2-page assessment annex. Obama ordered because he knew it was discredited. It was a politically motivated, manufactured document. He directed senior CIA officials to use it anyway. CIA officer told the House Intelligence Committee staff as they investigated this, quote, the director of the CIA, John Brennan, refused to remove it. And when confronted with the dossier's many flaws, responded, quote, yes, but doesn't it ring true?
Let me tell you why it's failing. Let me show you why it's failing. Right? Let me show you why it's failing. Why? You could put, I know it say the self-gods here. And spiritually, that is who is influencing these people. But you could also put in here the selfish man. Huh? The selfish government. Huh? The selfish people. Huh? But let's go with the selfish nation. Right? The selfish nation says, right? I will make a strong government. How? By armies and cruel masters. I will bend the subjects in my dominions. And as he draws up a multitude of laws and heaps upon books and heaps up books, and he draws up a multitude of laws and heaps up books to explain the laws and finds judges to explain the books that explain the laws. Sound familiar? Let me go back. The selfish nation. Pay attention. The selfish people. Huh? Says, I will make a strong government. By armies and cruel masters, I will bind the subjects in my dominions. What happens to you if you don't pay taxes? Let that sink in. And he draws up a multitude of laws. Huh? Has this happened? He draws up a multitude of laws. And he heaps up books to explain the laws. And he finds judges to explain the books that explain the laws. Do it sound familiar? Does this sound like the United States judicial system to you? Well, if it don't, let's go a little further and see if this pricks something. Because the judges says, or the selfish nation says, behold how wise I am. Behold the great wisdom of my judges. Behold the great learning of my books. Behold my most perfect laws. Behold my armies that stand in great power behind all. But look, Jaja turn it out. But lo, a star appears in the heaven, and all his fabric gives away like a spider web. Why? For instead of choosing his creator, who is strong, He erected things that were as nothing like light. It is what it is, man. I can't shed a tear for Obama. You get what I'm saying? These grown folks making their bid for their seals.
Committee on Intelligence report published in 2020 criticized the FBI's handling of the Steele dossier, noting its completely unverified nature and purposeful sidestepping of intelligence community procedures in its use. Now, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and others, including their mouthpieces in the media, knowingly lied as they repeated the contrived narrative that was created in this January 2017 intelligence community assessment with high confidence as though it were fact.
It's
John
bad,
Brennan,
man.
CIA director, stated
You
in
did
a
what I'm
memo
talking
to
about,
his
but listen, it
staff
can't be no
December
worse than what Trump
2016,
did.
saying, quote, there is
Can't be no worse than what Trump did, and Trump got found guilty, and he's still the president. So you dig what I'm talking about? If he did hate on you, dig what I'm talking about, and cook up a hoax, nigga, it's just par for the fucking course. You can't do nothing to that boy. He a former president. If they can't do nothing to you, they can't do nothing to him. So it is what it is.
strong consensus among us on the scope, nature, and intent of Russian interference in our presidential election. This was reported by NBC News, confirming that Brennan, along with James Clapper and James Comey, agreed with the CIA's assessment that Russia intervened to help Trump win the presidency. As Obama's Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper was tasked with overseeing the creation of this assessment in January of 2017 by President Obama, and he expressed confidence in its findings. In a 2018 interview with the Harvard Gazette, he talked about how he provided Trump with the same classified assessment that President Obama received, which included the high confidence judgment that Putin directly ordered the hacking and election interference. Clapper then went on to add, I think the Russians, actually influenced the outcome. This is a brief summary of the details that you'll find within the House Majority Staff's report in their investigation into the Obama-directed January 2017 Intelligence Community Assessment. That leads us...
I know a lot of y'all don't really, you dig what I'm talking about, really even care about stuff like this, but I watch it to stay abreast of what's happening or keeping the pulse of America. You dig what I'm talking about? Now, I understand that they speak a little bit of truth. You dig what I'm talking about? And it's wrapped in a whole bunch of BS and lies, and then deep fried in some trash. Because you dig what I'm talking about? We know that they're not for the people, but you gotta kind of keep your eye on it, because Jaja tell us don't even rock with why. But watch this. See, this is the dope part. Okay, Obama can get arrested, whatever. You dig what I'm talking about? This is why Owaspy though. Because Owaspy ain't just sitting back here crying about it, telling you God allowed it or created, did it, or he still got people on this planet, right? You still the creator, right? Right? Well, nigga, you better give us a way about this. I don't know how y'all rock with y'all creator. You dig what I'm talking about? But you dig what I'm saying? No, I'll be keeping it 100. But just like a good father, he always got a plan for his babies. He ain't just crying about it. He telling you what to do about it. I'm telling you, Watch be the coldest book in the world, and I'm telling you, the Book of Jehovah's Kingdom on Earth is a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track and not your wig pushed back. Huh? Book of Jehovah's Kingdom on Earth. And the creator had said, a republic cannot follow the highest light. Huh? Do we live in a republic? Do we live in a republic in the USA? Do we? Watch this. Are we currently in a republic? Watch this. What it say? A republic cannot follow the highest light. That sink in. Guess what? Guess what America is? Guess what the United States is? It's a republic. The United States is a constitutional federal republic in which citizens elect representatives to make government decisions. The U.S. is also considered a representative democracy, a system where the public votes for candidates to represent their interests. Right? But it's what? Where the public votes. And it's a representative democracy. Right? In which the citizens elect. Right? What the creator say? A republic cannot follow the highest light. Why? Because it follows the majority. Uh-oh. Y'all forgot that most niggas on the earth don't have the spiritual rate of a dog. 0 to 10, empathy start about 10. 0 to 100. Empathy starts at about 10. Most people in the world ain't empathetic, period. That means you ain't even at a level 10. You ain't even got the empathy of a dog, man's best friend. A nigga that'll lay his life down on the line for you, no questions. He'll fight a bear. You ain't got the empathy of a dog. That's crazy. And you following those niggas, the majority of those people. Why can't a republic, right, follow the highest light? Because ain't no real bunch of highlights in a republic. The majority of niggas are dark. The majority of crackers is low vibratory. The majority of humans on earth are not good. They can be good. They just choose not to. Empathy, true empathy, starts about in the spiritual grade scale, right about 10. Right? That's 0 to 10. That's 10. Most people are below that. Most people are at 1. That's crazy. So yeah. If the majority of the people in the republic are below the grades, then yes. And if they're making the decision, yes. It's impossible for a republic to follow the highest light because they don't have people who can perceive the highest light. Why? Because the majority of those people who can't see are making the decisions. right? A republic cannot, it might not, it cannot follow the highest light. It follows the majority, huh? That's why. And guess what? And the majority was, and ever shall be the lesser light. Let that sink in for a second. Therefore, a republic is not the all highest government, huh? Y'all ain't telling you to sit on your hands. You know, watch this. Watch what he tell us to do with the government. Watch how he tell us to interact with it. Watch this. Because I'm telling you, this is a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. Therefore, a republic is not the all highest government. And since only the all highest can triumph in the end, observe and interpret what shall come to pass. Watch this. I ain't never seen nothing like this, y'all. Watch this. Right? But many did not understand. Watch this. Nevertheless, the faithists, those who stand with the Creator, peace to the Creator gang and all the righteous Nirvanian gods and goddesses, huh? But many didn't understand when that light was being brought forth. But nevertheless, the faithists, huh? Those who stand with the Creator had little in common with the Uzians or the world's people, huh? The faithists established a reciprocity between different colonies, huh? And this is why he creates us with different talents, huh? Because look, this is your own industry. Understand what's going on. You can't cry about the capitalistic system if you're not willing to do nothing about it. The faithists established a reciprocity between different colonies, for some were suited to agriculture and some to manufacturing, and they exchanged products. Huh? My seeds, marry his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family for a long time. Huh? I think the Wu had it right. And they exchanged products, so there was neither buying nor selling between them. You get it now? Do you get it? Y'all get it? Ain't no big me, little you. Ain't no little you, big me. Excuse me, big you, little me. Everybody gonna have it. Why? Because we working for each other. There's always going to be need. Huh? And they exchange products, right? I'm telling you, it's gonna go back like the ancients had it. A more of a almost bartering type of system, but between cities. Yeah, you may only get 75 shirts on Monday. You dig what I'm talking about? But you will keep getting that 75. You dig what I'm talking about when you dig what I'm talking about when you adding that together. There's already a demand for what you got, because People need things. And you produce them. Right? So you're going to be able to have what you want. Ain't going to be no paying for electricity and water. And you dig what I'm talking about? You still going to even have your amenities. We're not going back into the stone age. We're going into the future. But it's going to be without this capitalistic society. Right? The dope part is you tap in when it's beneficial for you. And you withdraw when it's beneficial for you. You play it, you don't let it play you, right? Imagine if you don't have to buy food from outdoors. Imagine if you never had to just buy shoes, socks, drawers, t-shirts, pants, and shirts. Just that. We made clothing, top to bottom, jackets and all that stuff, shoes, all that. And food. Imagine if you never had to pay for that. How much money would you save? This is shalom. But just like my sister, Pam explained, man, shalom start inside with you. You got to find that peace in you. But I'm telling you, I got a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back, overcome white supremacy and a capitalistic society all at the same time. For some were suited to agriculture and some to manufacturing and some to this and some to that. And they exchanged products. So there was neither buying nor selling between them. And it also came to pass that we talking about faithists now. Listen, we ain't talking about everybody. I'm not talking about everybody. We talking about the people who stand with the Creator. Remember, we ain't got much in common with the world's people, the Uzians, the destructive people, right? And this, right? And it also came to pass that as some of the colonies were situated to the south, where it was warm, and some to the north, where it was cold, right? We're talking about in America, y'all. So the people went and lived in any climate suitable to them, continuing their membership wherever they went. This is how it's about to be, y'all. And thus, it had come to pass that in the Creator's kingdom on earth, real time, man was without a government, such as man's government today. What do you tell a good people? Right? Who govern themselves already accordingly. You don't tell them nothing. Right? You let them keep following their way. They good people. Man was without a government. And we're not saying it ain't no structure, but it's not a government like man's government. Because what y'all don't know, that this was the next higher condition that came upon the earth after republics. Y'all go back, I did a thing on prophecy and how to create a gang was prophesied about. And, it's some real insights in there about cyclic coils, tightening and changes in government and light, how they correlate at certain times, when they're going in there. You might want to check into that and go look into the social orders, brotherhoods, organizations, and different social orders, man. You'll see the rise of that right now. You dig what I'm talking about? People are delineating They choosing, right? Who you gonna choose in the end, right? I'm choosing nothing but the Creator. That's it. If it ain't about Jaja, I don't even care, cuz whatever. Yeah. All right, y'all going over there. All right, I'll be over there. I'll be over here. No. You dig what I'm talking about? Nah. Cause ain't none of that making to the higher heavens. You know what I mean? You are who you are. What, you gonna lord that over somebody? Huh? And guess what? They can't repress you because of it either. It's all gonna level out in the end of the day. And trust me, we gonna get our our heaven here on earth. This is what the plan is, y'all. This is what niggas is working on themselves to work forward. Right? Because why? Right? To live without a government like man's government is the next higher condition that comes upon the earth after the republics. So that means, what happens to the United States? The angels of the Creator, perceiving this was coming to pass, said to the faithists, what? What did he tell us? Do not bother your heads much about. Don't fret, my pet. Don't sweat these governments. What? Do not bother your heads much about passing new laws for the world's people. For those niggas over there. Huh? Do not bother, think about, worry about, be stressed about passing some type of new laws for these dudes. Why? Because I don't want you to take any part in the government, right? Whether it does this or that. Don't take part in any of the government, whether it does this or that. Why? Because many men shall rise up. Many men shall rise up saying, if the government would just make a law of peace, or if the government would prohibit the traffic and manufacturing of this or that, or drugs or children. Allegedly. If they would just prohibit so that, but watch this. But we say to you, all these things shall fail. But why, Cosmonian? Because you should never trust in the ungodly to do a God-like thing. Ooh. Yeah, if you just do this, or you just do this, and you shuck a buck over here, Cosmon, and you stop this, and you do this. If Trump would just, I say to you, all these things shall fail. Do not trust in the ungodly to do a God-like thing. How do you? Why? Because the society shall fail. The peace society, right? Which we call UN right now, shall become a farce. The prohibitory society The prohibitory society shall be lost sight of. Nigga, we wide open on social media right now. I could pull up anything. Huh? If I know exactly where to go, I can pull up anything. If you can think about it, it's on the internet. Hmm? Proof that the prohibitory societies have already been lost sight of. Huh? So some of this stuff has already happened. Some we see happening now. But then there's a final culmination, like you can kind of see like in the near future. This ain't a far off thing. You dig what I'm talking about? But what y'all gotta understand that this ain't an end all be all. This is a beginning. At the end of the darkness come the what? All right. Huh? Even the churches that profess peace and temperance will not embrace peace and temperance. Let me say it again. Even the churches that profess peace and temperance will not embrace peace and temperance. They will fraternize with liquor traffickers. And with colonels and generals of war for the sake of policy. Damn. The boast of the world's people shall be, this is a home for all peoples. But nevertheless, even while boasting, they shall make prohibitory laws to the contrary. This is the America today. For they have fallen under the lower light. None can turn them around the other way. Under the name of what? Liberty. They shall claim the right to practice ungodliness. But you shall come out from them, right? We ain't just standing by crying and, it's doomsday. We have no recourse. No, I told you I got a step-by-step book. But you shall come up out of her, created gang. You gonna come from up out of them, faithists, and be a separate people in the world. Y'all want to know what it's about? Y'all be so worried to talk about we spooky or nigga, no. You think, first of all, you ever think, why would the creator send 4 real street dudes? Real Algonquins, real Niji, that ain't going for nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? Ain't gonna believe nothing to go out and stomp for it. Because this thing can't be stopped. So he got some dudes that wouldn't stop. Shout out to the 4 horsemen. Daryl Cosman, Sila Shalom, Malachi Maccabee, and yours truly, the cloud kicker, Anak Wakaiki. He say, look, if you want to look for my footsteps upon the planet, look for those who stand by the creator. They are the remnants of the Algonquins. They got a book today, and it's a power. Shout out to the horsemen. If you look at it, look at the story of the 4 horsemen in the Bible. They bring death, pestilence, war, all that. But every one of us bring the opposite. Right? There's a horseman that matches to the horseman in Revelations, but he's the opposite. Which one you think I am? And so it came about that the people, right? Well, let me go back, because look, but you shall come up out from among them, about them cities, huh? And be as a separate people in the world, gang. And so it came about that the people were admonished by God and his angels, and by the Creator, speaking in the souls of mortals. And those of the spirit believed, but those of the flesh disbelieved. Wider and wider apart, these two people separated. The believers having faith in the Creator, practice righteousness, rising higher and higher in wisdom and purity. But the disbelievers went down in darkness, were scattered and lost from the face of the earth. Thus, the Creator's kingdom swallowed up all things in victory. His dominion was over all, and all people dwelt in peace and liberty. It's not guesswork what's about to happen. It's just about whose side you want to be of. I'm telling you, only the Creator say. Watch this. And I said to the world's people, let this be a testimony to you of the power of the Almighty. Because you go about building ships of war, and harbors for defense with torpedoes. Mind you, when this was written in 1881, right, a torpedo had never been used in war before. They was just being invented. Watch this. Watch this. When was the first torpedo used in war? Look at this. Ooh. Mac and cheese. The first modern self-propelled torpedo was used in warfare in 1878 when a Russian torpedo boat sank an Ottoman steamer in the Itaba during the Russo-Turkish War. The torpedo was the Whitehead torpedo, first developed in 1866, but this 1878 this 1878 use is considered the first time this type of weapon was deployed in Russia. 3 years before Owaspy was channeled. First time it was used in America was in the American-Spanish War, 1890s. Y'all think JBN knew about this? I don't think so. I be just listening to words that Owaspi be saying, and at the time that it was written, I'd be like, how? And then you got to remember, a torpedo is different from like those bombs they leave out there that you kind of run into and they blew. You dig what I'm saying? Mac and cheese, crazy. So it's kind of ill how, you know, even at the time it's at the cutting edge of everything, right? It'll be at the cutting edge of everything at that time of technology. So torpedo wood. They used the very first one in 1878, right? So nobody would have seen one before then. 3 years later, old Wasp created it. Talking about torpedoes. You go about building, let this be a testimony to you of the power of the Almighty. You go about building ships of war and harbors for defense with torpedoes and all types of wicked inventions. But I say to you, this nation, America, and this government, Trump, the United States government, and this people, the American people, shall not be attacked in the places you build. It is within. For I will draw away the righteous, and none but rogues shall accept your great offices. And this trend shall continue to grow upon you in the way of evil, declining in virtue more and more every year. Look, therefore, at your grave and judge the words of the Almighty. My hands shape the signs of the times. As the hirer, this day hires one man to watch another, so shall it come to you in the great offices of your government. You shall hope to overcome the prince of devils by force and might, but you shall fail. And in the proportion that you go down in corruption, so shall the faithless go away into my kingdoms. You watch. You just keep watching. This is why the faithless movement growing like it is. Yeah, the angel of war. Yeah, somebody got a war with that nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna turn the light up on him and he won't even be able to move. It's a difference. It's just about how you war. Remember, Creator got weapons too. One of the greatest weapons is shame. He turned that mirror on you. Ooh, make you look at yourself. Ooh, wee. Ooh, wee. Somebody got to be the God of war. The opposite. Somebody got to meet him, though. We the opposite. Shout out to the horsemen, man. And in proportion that you go down in corruption, so shall the faithless go away into my kingdoms. Let that sink in, man. All right. With that being said, I know what I need you to do. Shout out to everybody who came through, man. Shout out to Creator Game. All praise to the ever-present Creator, the one that always will, is, and never shall be. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. But I just want to rock this one on the way out. You dig what I'm talking about? Because guess what they don't want?
Are you coming too, old man? Huh? No.
You dig what I'm talking about?
This is Wisty Alive.
Shout out to everybody.
Makes hosting-
Shout out to everybody, man, who came through, man. Love, life, balance out there, man. I just want to ride out on this one right here. Hold on. Hold on, we got it on this.
Oh, you want something too, old man? Huh? No.
Hold up.
This is Wisty Alive. It makes hosting webinars a piece of cake.
Wait, I'm confused.
In this series of videos, we've been talking about...
Hold on. You know, I got to rock my joint before I get up out of here, man. This joint hard. I ain't even going front. This joint hard right here. But y'all know what I need you to do. Breathe in. Let that light in. Some Cosmon. And I'm...
Jehovih is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovih wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmon. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love. Lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.
Before we get up out of here, hold on. Before we get up out of here, man, I want to share this joint with y'all too, man. We gonna let this bronze yoke rock, but I want to share this joint with you too, man. AI is something different, y'all. AI is different. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Y'all want to hear some crazy stuff? Watch this. Hold on. All right. We're gonna rock out on this one right here, man. This is the new soul version. Huh? Dig this. This is the new soul version of Forgot About Dre. Huh? Let's go. This spirituality right here, y'all. In the Cosmon era.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Y'all know me. Still the same OG, but I've been low-key. Low-key, yeah. Hated on by most of these cats with no cheese, no deals, and no G. No G. No wheels and no keys, no boats, no snowmobiles, and no skis. No skis. Mad at me cause I can finally feed the fam with groceries. Feed 'em. Got a crib with a studio, it's all full of tracks. Added to the wall, full of plaques. All for setting the house like trophies. Did y'all think I'ma let my dough freeze? Hope please, better bow down on both knees. Who you think taught you to smoke trees? Who brought you the oldies, Easy E's, Ice Cubes and DOCs? Come on, Snoop D-O double G's and the crew that said fuck the police. Gave you a tape full of dope beats to bump in your streets. When your LP's tank, who's the doctor y'all go see? Listen up closely, said Drake turned pop, the firm flop, no sleep. No sleep. So forget y'all if you don't like me, blow steam. Keep on pushing, turn me back to the old me. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about Drake. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about Dre. So what do you say to somebody you hate? What you say? Or anyone trying to bring trouble your way? Trouble your way. Wanna resolve in the blood of your way? Study a tape of NWA. Okay. One day I was walking by Walkman High, caught a guy gave me a sideways eye. What you looking at? Parking lot tie? Hey. I don't care if it's dark or not. I'm harder than parking a Dodge. When I'm drunk as all get out next to a truck in a 2-car garage. Hopping out with 2 broke legs, still trying to walk it off. Call the cops, I'ma kill the noise and the barking dogs. They roll through me and Dre stood by a burnt down house, gas can in one matches and the other still got out. Right here. From here on out it's Chronic 2. Start today, tomorrow's new. Brand new. Still logo enough to choke you with a Charleston chew. Chicka Slim Shady, hotter than twin babies in a Benz with the windows up mid-80s. You crazy? Too hot. Calling me lady, sorry doc, I've been crazy. Been crazy. Ain't no way to save me. Okay, go with them. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about Drake. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about Drake. wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about it. Say money nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish and folks act like they forgot about trade. Nowadays everybody wanna talk, when it's time to speak truth, remember the doctor.
Rap artists. This is why they buying they catalogs, y'all, so they can mimic them. Is have AI pump them out. Crazy game. I think that's gonna be my new way to take it out from now on, y'all. That's hard, right? Y'all want to see something crazy too? Watch this one. This is another good one too, man. And I'm really going on this one. I'm really going.
California, hit me now. Hit me now. California knows how to party. 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 Good God, in the city of LA, in the city of good old Watts, in the city of Compton, we keep it rocking, we keep it rocking. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. A state untouchable, like Elliot Ness. Ow! The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Pack a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. Ow! The state where you never find the dance floor empty. And pimps be on a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines serving fiends. From Diego to the Bay, it's all good, baby. Throw up a finger if you feel the same way. Dre putting it down for California. Yeah. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. Good God, in the city of LA, in the city of Watts, in the city of Compton, we keep it rockin', keep it rockin', keep it rockin'. Shake it, baby. Shake it, Cali. Ow, shake it, mama. Come on now, hit me 2 times. Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I hear the hoochies screaming. Ow, feeding for money and alcohol. Life of a West Side player where cowards die in a strong ball. Good God, only in Cali where we riot, not rally. In LA we wearing chucks, not valleys. Khaki suits and lokes, cruising what we do. Collide with crews, flossing but proceed with caution. Now, worldwide, let them recognize from Long Beach to Rosecrans, bumping and grinding like a slow jam. Say what you say, but give me that bomb beat from Dre. Let me serenade the streets of LA. Good God. break it down, baby. Hit me now. Good God. Can we break it down, baby? Yeah. Good God. Oh, yeah. I said, good God. We love you, Cal.
My bad. A lot of y'all may not recognize the voice, right? That the AI is synthesizing and trying to sing like. His name is Terrence Trent D'Arby. Do y'all remember Terrence Trent D'Arby? Right? Bro, they remember in them contracts they say in your likeness, image, your name, image, and likeness in perpetuity. That means forever. Right? So that means what you sound like too. This is why they're buying their masters, y'all. And now they got re-cooked up version of Terrence Trent D'Arby singing Pac over a jazz swing. It's just crazy. Listen to the voice. That's Terrence Trent D'Arby. My
Throw it up, Cali.
That's Terrence Trent D'Arby. That's crazy. And with that, we gone.